I was just thinking, I hope Nintendo takes the nose ring away and then gives like the dolphin an earring, or gives like, yeah, just like keep one upping it. Like give another animal something else.
Everybody just gets beeping ear tags.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, it'd be even better if they made a cart specifically for the crab character that was just a boiling pot of water. So like every time you drove, you was actually being cooked.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It just
one of the power-ups is butter. He just becomes like a butter slick behind him Nintendo, these are free ideas.
turns from blue to red as the race goes on.
They are listening.
That's
just squealing the whole time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Level 30 Games podcast. Well, that was a dog dancing up there. If you're listening to the audio version, hop on over to the video and see Joe abusing an animal.
No. That's great, considering one of the topics.
No.
Yeah, we'll talk about PETA later.
Welcome to episode 308, August 2025. I am your host, Tom, back as we have been all year, every month with Joe, Drew, and Dan. Thanks, guys, for joining. I'll take the pressure off Drew from having to come up with a slogan at the start of the show. Is that okay for you, Drew?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Tom.
All right, well, it's good to see you guys.
And that's his slogan.
That's not a very good slogan. We don't like that at all. What we got on the show for you today, a lot of reactionary stuff. August, I would argue, has been seemingly kind of slow of news, but at the same time, it hasn't. We have a Nintendo partner showcase to give you some impressions and thoughts on. There was a Kirby Air Riders Direct as well. Pokemon had a Pokemon Presents, and we are going to take a look at our Switch 2 outlook for the remainder of the year, fiscal year. We'll hit some of the news topics. And before we get into anything, I want to issue a quick statement, if I may. Is that okay with you guys, real quick?
Let's hear it.
Your podcast.
Yeah. Well, no, it's our podcast, and I want to very quickly, without getting into too much detail, let me get my apology music here.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say, where did it?
Hi.
We're so sorry.
I want to issue an apology to Drew. I have, since our last podcast, come back to and defeated Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And that is, without a doubt, Game of the Year. Last podcast, I said maybe it was Donkey Kong. It is not. Donkey Kong will be in the conversation, but Claire Obscure was freaking amazing. And if you haven't played it, I encourage everyone to go out and play that game. We won't spend a lot of time talking about it because we have to some extent. But Drew, that game was fantastic, and I want to thank you for encouraging me to push through most of it because I kind of stopped well before Act 1. So thank you.
Yeah, every time an act like turned over to the new one, I was just like, I need to know what's happening. I need to continue further.
Yeah.
And the development of the characters and the world building, it was just all encompassingly a great game.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Twin Peaks moments of like, I know what's happening, but I have no idea what's happening. And then it all kind of comes together. And that first act, that was a jaw dropper. All right, but we're gonna move on. I just wanted to do that.
Props to your PR person.
Because that game was oh, thanks. My PR person is also Dan. So let's get into some of the recent presentations that have come through here, and we'll start with the partner showcase, the Nintendo Switch partner showcase, which was a couple weeks ago at this point. But this is also coming on the heels of Switch 2 sales being formally announced by Nintendo. 5.82 million consoles have been sold as of the writing of this show. I'm sure that number's gone up. 82% of people that bought a Switch 2 also bought Mario Kart, which does raise the question, what the hell are the other 18% of people playing?
It's a great question.
Because, I think we mentioned before, third-party sales not doing super well on the hardware to start, which is not a huge surprise, but I think it's preemptively causing some red flags from people. Guys, 5.82 million sales is the fastest selling hardware in the United States history, maybe even global history. That's a huge start. we're a few months in. Drew, any regrets in your purchase?
No regrets. I just, like you said, the 18%, what are they playing? Like, is third-party sales talking about physical, or because their digital downloads is still very abundant. I mean, 6 million people are downloading games off of that. So is it physical copies, or is it just in general third-party?
So I can... I do believe it's both. I'm not entirely sure of. I know they made a point to say that 82% of Mario Kart was both physical and digital, because obviously if you bought the bundle, it was included with the hardware, so they wanted to count those numbers. But I don't know off the top of my head if the third parties did include both. I can tell you that Cyberpunk was one of the better selling third-party titles, as was the latest Rune Factory game, but there's a pretty steep drop-off after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game you couldn't have on Switch 1, right? And everyone wants those PC, PS5, like Xbox games to play on your Nintendo. The only thing I'll say is Nintendo has done a great job of getting consoles into stores. Like I had texted you guys the other day, one of my targets had 10 Switch 2s sitting there and another one had 15. Like, I know it's 500, so it's not moving much, and with Switch 1 increasing $30 to $50 depending on which version, you would hope that people would be like, I don't want to Switch anymore. I'll just wait to save up a little bit more for Switch 2.
Yeah,
and be able to purchase it.
How crazy is that on the heels of this, Nintendo also said, we're raising the price of our Switch Lite, Switch 1, and Switch 1 OLED consoles pretty substantially. The Switch Lite is going to jump up to $229, so a $30 increase, whereas the Switch OLED is over $400, I believe now, which is kind of absurd. I think it's $440, so you're like $50 away from at that point a Switch 2 with Mario Kart. Dan, does this give you any trepidation that the cost of Switch 2 might go up, and as the 25% of us here that have not made that leap yet, is there a sense of urgency that, hey, I got to jump on this quickly because it might actually be more expensive in 6 months?
No, I mean, my question, I guess, is, has that ever happened historically? Has a new system come out and the older generation gone up in price? I'm just curious. But for me personally, it actually sort of, especially with the third party sales and what we're going to get into with the launch, it validates a lot of my holding off. I don't see another big game that I'm like, I need to buy this and also buy this and make me want to go out. One game is not enough. Because any new system, you're going to need a second set of controllers. You're gonna want something else, like a plan B to play, a main game and a multiplayer game or something like that. So I don't see the library expanding fast enough with things to make me want to run out and buy it, regardless of the price.
Is there a breaking point for too many games in the library that you can't purchase them all at one time?
I mean, it starts to feel a little bit like oversaturation with, streaming shows. There's just too many things to play that you feel overwhelmed, and where do I start? So maybe, but we haven't gotten to that. I mean, aside from Mario Kart, there wouldn't be much of anything that I'd pick up.
Saturation is an interesting talking point, if only because Mario Kart, if you got the bundle or picked it up at launch, within 6 weeks you had Donkey Kong. So there's your multiplayer game, there's your online game, there's your single player, heavily focused, story-driven game. I don't know, it's $70, $80 for Mario Kart a pop. I don't think it's unreasonable to say I can't afford to buy the third game or the fourth game on that list. So when you prioritize, as many people do with Nintendo hardware, you get the Nintendo published game. It will continue with that saturation. Partner Showcase came about, and just as a refresher for you folks listening, Partner Showcase are the games that Nintendo works with publishers, or they reach out and say, hey, we want to promote your game, let's put it on our special. These are never Nintendo developed games in these showcases. So it opened up with Monster Hunter Stories 3, which is a pretty big get from Capcom. I don't know if it's an exclusive or not, but it's a pretty big game in that series, now hitting its third one. The first two were pretty good. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Persona 3 Reload, which is really cool. Madden and Football Club 26 both got a shout out. Borderlands 4, woot, Joe, for you. And a couple other smaller titles. I'm obviously just hitting the big ones. But that show closed with Octopath Traveler 0 and a new title that we're going to let Drew talk about in just a second, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, which both of those games use the HD 2D art style, and I personally think look really good. But when I was assembling some of the trivia questions and even things for later in the show, I was like, well, okay, some of these bigger games are starting to come into the picture, right? Pokemon Legends has a release date in October. Octopath Traveler is the end of December. We found out today that Kirby Air Riders is coming out November 20th. So Hyrule Warriors, Metroid Prime 4 are the two big titles that are slated to come out in 2025. No release date yet, which is kind of concerning as I'm seeing this calendar start to get a little full. Dan, knowing that there's not a big Nintendo get here, I should say, as like a Mario or a Zelda, did any of these titles like jump out at you at something that looked interesting or were a really cool have for the system?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, I'm sort of revising or reversing my thought from before, but there are, you know, I would play Metroid Prime. I would play, you know, let's put it this way: if there was a Game Pass for $25 a month and all these games were on it, I would spend countless hours, right? So in many ways, it is strictly the financial burden that prevents me from purchasing one of these games. It's not a lack of interest; it's just at $500 a system plus 2 games, an extra console, you're up to $800, and then to spend another $70 or $140 a month for every new game that comes out, you start to go, yeah, I'm going to play Mario Kart for a little bit while longer.
Joe, any of these titles jump out to you as something like, what did you think of this Direct? Was it something that kept Switch 2 momentum moving forward, or did it kind of feel like a weird half step?
I think it pushed more than the original release, like the first set of announcements really did. You know, I do still think that there's more here than we really got at the launch of the console. Even if, you know, everything's not, you know, released yet, we still got more new things, rather than just like, hey, here's like 2 new Nintendo games and then a whole bunch of like third-party games that you've already played. I think there's more big titles here that are going to get people excited too, whether they've been released or not already. You know, Borderlands 4 coming out, you know, like releasing on all of the consoles is a pretty big deal for the Switch. Even if the popularity of the series has gone down a little bit, still kind of a big deal. Plants vs. Zombies is like not the biggest deal to me, but it's still a well-known title, you know, like it's still a big deal that the stuff is out there. I think, yeah, that, you know, just to reiterate, I think that this was a little bit better than we got at the launch of the console. And even if there's not too much here for me, it does seem like there's more here for everyone than there was before.
That's a good point. If only because I know as I'm looking at titles, I see, there's nothing for me to play. But then, there's all these little things along the way in between the big stuff. And then I run into that question of time. Drew, I feel like a lot of these titles might appeal to you more as you tend to delve into some of the smaller, quirkier indie stuff. I want to hear your thoughts, but it looked like you had a comment as well.
No, it goes along with what Joe's saying, is like when Nintendo Switch 2 released their, like, these are the games you're going to see within the next years, right? Like the end of 2026 or whatever. Like it fills all the gaps till Dusk Bloods, right? Like I like small, quirky games that are like Metroidvanias or RPGs that are like 10 to 15 hours because then I can like feel accomplished that I beat them. And then every once in a while I'll invest in those RPGs that Tom's obsessed with that are like 100 hours on the side. Like I like those too, but I really like dabbling in different genres and worlds very quickly.
For the longest time, it's been these are our AAA titles. These are the ones that are going to take the most resources to make, the most financial backing to put out there. They are making and breaking studios left and right. I think publishers and or developers are saying, hey, we can't do that every single time, because unless you hit a home run, you might be out of a job. And so I think you're looking at developers that are saying, let's make a 20-hour game for a quarter of the budget and we can sell it. Claire Obscure was released at $49.99. The Mafia series just had a game come out this month. The price point was $49.99, and they were pressed on it, and the CEO said, it's a 15-hour game. It's relatively linear. We're really impressed with what we have. We're not short selling anybody, but this is what we believe this product is valued at, and we think that's going to do better for us in the long run. And I think that's a great approach, because you might get more people to look at those games that are $20, $30 less and know, okay, like, I'm not lowering my expectations, but knowing that in 10 to 15 hours, I could be done with this and have a really great time and not feel the need for a massive time investment or financial investment. I think that's a win for a lot of people. Drew?
I feel like you're right. Like, we used to work in a game store, and games used to come out at $60 no matter what they were.
Right.
Right. And then, like, a month later, they were already $30, $40. I feel like with Nintendo Switch and, like, the current or last generation, that you've gotten a lot more developers that are like, this is a $20 game, this is a $40 game, this is a $60. I think you'll still see the same thing on Nintendo Switch with, like, indie developers will be like, yeah, we know you're not spending 70, so this game will be 50 or this game will be 30. There might be a new tier because of the $10 increase, or 20, depending on if you want to talk about Mario Kart. But there will still be developers who are like, we know you're not going to invest 100 hours in this game, like Final Fantasy VII Remake or Integrate or whatever, so we'll drop the price of it. And Claire Obscure did come out at 50, but at the same time, they printed like no copies and no one could find it. So you were really spending $70 or $80 or $90 for that game anyway.
Or, buying it digitally, which would then kind of lock in that price.
No.
Is that sort of well, I don't know what the word is, a trap that Nintendo has fallen into, is that they have so many major franchises that they have to release them at sort of epic AAA scale. They're not going to release, I mean, they do that to some extent with Zelda. They'll remaster an old, but you're not going to see a newer small version of Metroid. You're not going to see a newer small version of Mario Kart or Super, they have to be big budget games.
I mean, Metroid Dread was a big budget game, but like was a 10-hour game, and like in the end, you could beat it just like Super Metroid in like 2 hours.
And I think it's the best-selling Metroid game to date.
Again,
and I would argue the best game.
More people, more units sold, right? So you have more opportunities.
Well,
but
of
at
course.
the same time, I think Nintendo is very methodical in like, we need to release these things at said amount of times for the AAA, like space out your Smash Brothers and your Zelda and your Kirby's and your Metroid so that we can optimize. It's just like the movie industry, right? Like Barbenheimer came out and like everyone flocked to those. So if you stagger them, that's when you gravitate. Kirby Air Riders, which we'll talk about in a second, it's been 20 years. Like, people are going to flock to it because of nostalgia, or they just really like Kirby. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, and to that point, also, Nintendo, their history is normally, we've got one major installment for each of our franchises per console generation. I mean,
right.
Switch having 2 major Zelda titles is kind of an anomaly. Other than Ocarina
64.
of Time and Majora's Mask, it was like, hey, there's the Zelda title. Okay, like when Twilight Princess came out on the Wii, you were kind of like, I guess we're not getting a Zelda until Nintendo makes new hardware, right? And that's exactly what happened. So that, and I think you're going to see them kind of farm out some of their IPs as well, right? Like Retro Studios is working with Metroid. It was announced today that Kirby Air Riders was a heavy partnership with Bandai Namco. Did I say that correctly? I always say
Yes.
Namai Bandco or something stupid. So like,
Well, now you have.
now I have. So like, obviously that was not developed entirely within house. And I think it's great that they're actually like willing to do that now. I'm sure with your Marios and Zeldas, they will probably keep it 100% in house, but you never know, right? Because the team that did Mario Odyssey did Donkey Kong Bonanza. They've been working on that for a number of years. That might mean that we're realistically 4 to 5 years out from the next mainline Mario game. How long can, like, I'm sure Nintendo would love to have it next year. It's obviously still got time in the oven, and that's fine. Take their time, do what they want, because they always seem to make stuff that's just magical and wonderful, but we can, I guess, clamor for it in the meantime.
It's surprising they don't acquire more studios. Like, their R&D has turned into like retro, right? And their R&D has turned into, I think HAL back in the day. Like those things have like, and it's not like they're gonna buy out Chucklefish, or I'm trying to think of like smaller. Tribute is another small one that makes games that I like. It's just interesting that they continue to use these giant studios that are theirs and never try to acquire the small guy. Like, as much as I wouldn't want to be part of a corporation.
Oh, like Microsoft buying everything and then shutting it all down that we talked about last month?
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo wouldn't do that. They would find a way.
So I guess real quick, we'll go around the horn. I'll start with Drew. I feel like the start for the Nintendo Switch 2 was fine, borderline good, not great or amazing. The rest of the year definitely has things that I'm excited to play. Do you have, like, rephrase that. What else do you think Nintendo needs between now and we'll say March of next year, because that would be considered the end of the fiscal year? Like, what else does Nintendo need to do between now and then to really feel like this system has some momentum and that you're kind of excited to be in this ecosystem?
A date on Metroid Prime 4. Sorry,
I'm kind of convinced that that game's not coming out. Not until next year.
It might not. And with, like, I told you I try to buy a game a month, right? Whether it's small or big. And, like, this month I'm lacking in a game. There's a game later this month that I want, but it's the Shinobi, like, new game.
Oh, yeah.
To you, it's doing enough. I don't think it's doing enough for me. And that's mainly because, like, I want Borderlands 4, but I'm not going to play it on Switch.
True.
Like, why would I not play it on PC, which has the most amount of users playing it? And, like, I watched all of Kirby Air Riders, which we'll get to, and, like, I still am baffled by, like, 2 racing games competing for the same child. Like,
yeah. And Sakurai kind of teased that, and like within the first 60 seconds, he was like, people are saying, why make a game like Mario Kart? And he's like, yeah, it's basically Mario Kart. And then went on for 44 more minutes with, like, basically going through the manual of how to
and
play
to that,
the game.
we say, shut up, Drew.
So for the rest of the year,
It just calls you out
for the rest of the
specifically.
year, I might buy one game that I can. I'd have to look, but I don't know how much I'm going to buy towards Nintendo.
Oh, all right. Well, that's probably good for your wallet. I know I'm in trouble. Joe, I mean, Kirby, yeah, we got a date for today. That's November. But, like, from now, like, what else does Nintendo need to do in the next 6 months?
The next 6 months, I think that they need, like, a major new release that people are, like, really waiting for, like a new they're not going to be doing a new, like, mainline Zelda for a little bit, I'm sure, but something in that vein. Like, we need a big put 120 hours into the game, people have been waiting for this AAA kind of release, you know. To me, like, Mario's not going to do it. It's got to.
Oh, I think Mario would.
Maybe if it's a big change, though, like if it comes with a killer feature, I guess, or, you know, killer new power that Mario gets or something. But if we're talking
4D,
Mario can turn into both a cat and use FLUDD. There you go. Done.
Mario breaks the fourth wall and turns into you.
and he comes to your TV screen, a la Ring, and then says, "Shut up, Drew," to your face.
He throws Cappy out the TV. It lands on you, and you come into the game.
Now you're talking. That's a brilliant idea. Dan, how about you? Like, what's the thing that's going to go, okay, fine. I'm like, not even pull the trigger, but get you closer to it.
So I want it. I would be honest, if Metroid 4 was out, I would probably get that as the standalone, and I would go get it tomorrow.
Even though you can get it on Switch 1?
Yeah. Because the same reason that I went and bought an Xbox Series X, I want to set myself up for the next wave, for the next couple years. I don't want to spend $70 on an old system. I want to spend $70 and more money knowing that it's investment. What I thought Joe was going to say, and this truly would be something that I would buy the system for, is if they brought some type of the virtual console back, a la like the Game Pass, where you had access to every NES, SNES, 64 game included in one catch-all price that encompassed online play. I actually really don't like how they sparsed it out to have different packages for Super Nintendo, NES, and 64, and then they had a 64 like mature content for like a certain game. I want it like the Steam Deck. I want all the games just there. Put it all together. Let me pay $15 a month for it, whatever it is, and I will spend countless hours playing 10 minutes of a video game that I played one time 20 years ago, and just like burn weeks doing that because it's fun to go back. But I'm not going to spend $10 on an old video game. I don't need an old video game remastered to make it fun. I want them to sort of unlock the treasure trove of their old catalogs.
100%.
Okay. Yeah, I think, and it's funny is because as soon as you started saying that, not once in either preparing for the show did I even factor in their virtual console stuff. Like I like Switch 2, you can play GameCube games on. I don't think I've done that yet. No, I played one round of Soul Calibur, but like it has not even been a thought in my forefront to say, oh, this is a really unique selling or feature that should be positioned more forward in that you can do that. We'll wrap here. I just wanted to add the one thing that I think Nintendo needs to do between now and their fiscal year, March. Nintendo usually has a big, heavy direct in September. I need them to hint at something big.
Yeah.
I think it does need to be something like a Smash Brothers or I think the new Animal Crossing is going to move units, but I don't think it's going to get the fervor behind it that like you put that Smash logo up on the screen, people will lose their shit, and it will be something to talk about for months. I think it needs something like that. I don't think we've hit that true killer app yet for the hardware, and they just need to mention that it's coming, and I think that would be enough to go, okay, cool. I think they're a little timid after the Metroid Prime 4 debacle, which was technically announced 8 years ago, and that they don't want to do it too soon. But I think we need something of that scale to really get people super excited.
Nintendo's always good about, not good, actually bad about announcing a game and then having it shelved for years. Like Metroid Fusion took forever to come out, and that was in development like God knows how long before that. But the same thing with Metroid Prime 4. I thought they would do it at the end of, wish they had done it at the end of the Direct today, like something small towards another game.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to bleed into anything else. But on that same point, they've also said in June, this is Metroid Dread. Isn't it cool? Oh, by the way, it's out in October, which is like, holy crap. There was like from nothing to something to you'll have it in 3 months is another way. I think they're kind of feel like they've been testing the waters with how they announce stuff, and it hasn't been consistent enough to where we can expect much, which I guess is good. It keeps it exciting. But at the same time, I feel like they've hit this streak where it doesn't seem to be landing as well as I think it could, and that's kind of a bummer. I kind of wanted to jump through some news real quick. We're going to speed through it because we totally ignored it last time, and so all that stuff's old news now. I'm not going to bring it up again. But there is one thing that I did kind of want to bring up that we mentioned before, and that's the notion of Nintendo forcing publishers or putting them in a position to use game key cards for their software releases. And the only reason why I wanted to mention this again was because Nintendo had recently put out a survey asking for feedback from people on their openness on digital and physical games. That survey was shut down within 2 hours. And the general consensus is that there was so much negative vitriol towards game key cards that Nintendo was kind of like, okay, we don't want to hear the rest of that. Like, we get it. And they stopped.
It's kind of like when you're doing an online test and you get so many questions wrong that they're like, you don't even have to do the rest of the test. You've already failed.
Yeah, we're failing you now. So I guess the silver lining here is that maybe Nintendo is listening. But the reason why I bring this up is because there's been a lot of confusion over some of the upgrade paths here. And as a collector, one of the principles in having physical is that like you own the game. It's on the cartridge. It's on the disc. And the Switch 2 key cards obviously don't have that. Square Enix has just kind of just thrown shit at the wall to see what sticks. And just using them as an example, they put out a free upgrade to Dragon Quest III HD for the Switch 2 with improvements, visual quality, frame rate, things like that. Cool, great, that's awesome. That's super appreciated. Will you be doing that for Dragon Quest 1 and 2? No, not at all. If you buy that on the Switch 2, it's a game key card. If you buy it on the Switch 1, the entire game is on the cartridge. Can I upgrade to the Switch 2? No. There's no digital upgrade to go from 1 to 2, which is really frustrating. So, and then recently as well, Romancing Saga, which was a game that came out earlier in the year or late last year, I don't remember. They put out an upgrade package that's paid. It's, I think, $9, $10, and it upgrades frame rate, visual improvements, goes up to 4K, 60, like all that stuff. Also, a really reasonable, I would pay $10 to upgrade something, sure. The inconsistency here is really confusing, and as much as I want to play Dragon Quest 1 and 2 with, at the highest quality, fidelity, and frame rate, I'm more tempted to get the Switch 1 version of that game because I'd actually have it on the cartridge, which is really infuriating. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on this, Drew?
Yeah, so it reminds me of PS4 to PS5, right? Like
that was a confusing time.
I don't know how many times I was like, does this have an upgrade if I buy the PS4 version? And 90% of the time it did, which I bought more PS4 games because of it. And I'm actually doing that with the Switch. Like, I bought both Kirby's and both Donkey Kongs after the fact, and the Kirby's have an upgrade. Like, I would rather physically own it. I know most of us agree with that. And that you're not upgrading it. Like, I get it and I don't, but like, just be transparent, right? We talk about that as a teacher, right? You want to be transparent in the classroom with your kids. Same thing as a corporation. I know they like to have their closed doors, but like, state it and follow through with it.
Dan, as the resident Game Pass person here, I'm seeing more and more that games like are not even physically coming to Xbox at all. Like they just don't even bother selling a retail copy or on disc or something. I'm curious your take on this because since you're so easily able to kind of like download at will and play around, like, is this just like noise to you, or is this something that like you look at and go, oh, well, when I get the hardware, like this actually is going to be a pain in the ass?
No, my immediate response is like, I like being able to say, Joe, I like this game a lot. Here, try it, and give him my copy. I'm done with it. And I think
you can do that with a key card.
You can do that, but the other thing that going back to the Virtual Console, I plugged in my Wii to play something on it, and the software is it's no longer supported by Nintendo. And so there's a reality that these games will potentially become retro games at some point. And we have the old NES and SNES cartridges that we can put in and find an old TV or whatever, plug them into, and they still work the same way that they would have, where in 20 years, these digital versions may or may not be supported in the same way that they are, and your money just is out there. There's not just the physical collecting of the I want it now in the present, but there's a pretty heavy trend of eventually these games will come back into circulation in their original format.
Yeah, and as a collector, I kind of like that ability to buy something and know that it works as soon as I get home.
Totally.
Joe, just and quickly, the Steam ecosystem is kind of just perpetual, right? Is that a general concern on the PC side of things, or not really, because there's always a third-party workaround? I don't know. You seem to be the expert on that.
I mean, it is always a concern, and there's a lot of...
Muted.
No,
What?
we can't hear you, Joe.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Somehow-
I muted myself to clear my throat and forgot.
Sorry, what were you saying about Joe being the resident tech expert?
Yeah, talk about timing. Wow. So as I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself, it's definitely like it's a concern. Digital archival is always something that, like, we have the Internet Archive, we have people who will who try to back up all of their physical media and make it available. The upside, is that there are tons of people who want to do these things and are capable of doing them as well. So while there's not really like an official, like a body that like gets these digital games and tries to make them playable, because there's so many legal restrictions, even for companies that aren't around, there's so much gray area, but there's a huge community around it, around people who are trying to archive these games and make them continuously available, that while it's a concern, that's part of the reason why it keeps happening and why these games are still around, because people are concerned about it and they go, oh, I want to be part of this. I want to be able to do this. As far as like Steam in specific goes, Valve has said that like if Steam were to like crash and burn and Valve were to go under, they have a way of unlocking everything for everyone. Does that still exist? I don't know. It was years ago that it was said. Will they actually do it? What the legality is behind it, because they distribute the games, but they don't own them. Who knows what is written into the contracts that they work with the companies that they work with. And also, if Steam themselves were to go under, would that even matter, legally? So they say they have a way of doing it. Whether they do or don't, nobody really knows until it actually happens. But for now, like, if you buy your games in Steam, you have them all available for at least as long as Valve is around and supporting Steam, and that's where they make all of their money.
Or Gabe Newell's alive.
Yeah, I think the release is actually one of those things like in the movies where like the bomb is tethered to their heartbeat. So as soon as Gabe Newell dies, all of Steam will evaporate and the games just become
Yeah, you will own nothing.
You'll own nothing.
I think he's the only thread that is holding on you from owning, like me, 2,000
That
games
man-
on Steam.
Yeah, and he says he works from his
He
yacht.
survives purely off his hatred for Microsoft, so I think we're okay. I think he's going to live for a very long time.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So, and look, maybe the culture around that on the PC side has been pretty much that since the computer stopped having disk drives and they just made games available digitally you just download it. You don't need to have a CD. In fact, it's kind of pointless to have it because you're going to download more stuff anyway. So I think it's baked into the culture. I think Nintendo was the last big holdout of having that sort of cultural aspect of it. Like you buy an NES cartridge, you put it in the machine, and it plays after you blow on it 6 times. But it's now it's in that category of, okay, I just bought a PlayStation 5 game. I wanted to play it tonight. So unless I install it in the morning and let the patches do, like, it's not like I can just sit down and go. And I think Nintendo has never had that up until this point, and I'm finding it a little bit more frustrating. But they got to sort some of that stuff out. Speaking of stuff to sort out, in news to no one, PETA is pissed off, because when are they not pissed off?
What's
PETA,
new?
the Protection of the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or whatever that stands for. Dan, what does PETA stand for? Did I get it right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
People for the ethical treatment of animals, I think.
People eat total animals. Yes, they're mad at Nintendo for quite possibly the stupidest thing, but when are they not? They are pushing Nintendo to remove the nose ring from the character Cow from Mario Kart World, saying that it highlights the ongoing exploitation and control in the cattle and dairy industry.
I don't know who their lawyers are or where they choose to pick their fights. It's hilarious that I feel like the video game industry is always targeted.
It kind of makes me want to use Cow now more out of spite. Like I just...
No, I mean, I think like they're using this to say like, hey, there's a serious issue with the treatment of animals, specifically in the poultry and the dairy and beef industry. But it really kind of makes it a silly thing instead of like it's a very serious issue. And it's like, okay, you put your name back in the conversation, but it's not about the actual ring. It's about you making this argument now, and that sort of will have the opposite effect for a lot of people. It'll turn them off to like caring about it at all.
Yeah, I guess.
Nintendo.
Go ahead, Drew. Sorry.
I was just thinking, I hope Nintendo takes the nose ring away and then gives like the dolphin an earring, or gives like, yeah, just like keep one upping it. Like give another animal something else.
Everybody just gets beeping ear tags.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, it'd be even better if they made a cart specifically for the crab character that was just a boiling pot of water. So like every time you drove, he was actually being cooked.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It just
one of the power-ups is butter. He just becomes like a butter slick behind him Nintendo, these are free ideas.
turns from blue to red as the race goes on.
They are listening.
That's
just squealing the whole time.
You just the final lap he's just squealing high pitch. Oh boy. All right, well, get ready for that crab DLC. Coming soon.
You know what? People might buy the Switch 2 for that.
I would.
That's true. Your anti-animal activists would be like, I'm in.
Gotta nuke something.
That's true. And you know what? Joe shook his dog violently at the start of the show, so anything's on the table.
Yeah,
right
look,
now.
he likes it.
Joe is the newest character in Mario Kart.
That's it. Oh yeah,
It's just Joe shaking his dog.
Strangling a dog.
No hands on the steering wheel, even though...
To be fair, like half of the characters drive without any hands on the steering wheel, or hands at all. Some of them just... There's a bee. There's literally a bee as a character. He just floats above the seat.
Nice.
Well,
It's all mind control.
He doesn't want to put a stinger in the upholstery of the cart there.
Of course,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
That's the problem we have.
Okay, let's get into our trivia.
I have two things real quick.
Oh.
I know we're running over time.
Yeah, go for it.
So we never touched on the 2D RPG for Square Enix.
Oh, we did not, and you prepared
But-
notes, and I'm really sorry about that.
I only want to say one thing about it.
So Drew is referencing The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, which was the close of the Nintendo presentation a couple weeks ago, Square Enix HD 2D game. Go for it, Drew.
It's 2025 and it has loading screens for a 2D RPG. Why?
Because games need to load,
Retro.
man. What?
It is a 2D
And it's
RPG.
retro. It needs loading screens.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Do you know how to make games, Drew? I can't wait to play your game that has
I've been
zero
keep-
loading screens.
Someday you will.
Someday I will.
Someday you will. Metroid Prime doesn't have loading screens, technically.
It does. It hides them behind the doors opening. So, and anytime your character has to shimmy through a crack in the wall, it's loading, baby. Elevators,
Or like
loading screens. Come on.
If you're in an area, can't you just load what's below the door that you're about to enter, as opposed to a loading
I don't know.
screen?
I don't have a Switch
My
deck yet.
only, I would. Yeah, I'm not a developer. My only counterpoint to that would be like, technically, Tears of the Kingdom, you can go from the tallest cloud to the ground underneath the ground, and it doesn't do any loading at all. That game is.
Yes,
I've gotten a
thank
few
you.
stutters
And
doing
it's
that.
3D.
Okay,
That's
stutters.
fine. Stutters
yeah.
are better than a black loading screen with the guy walking up and down stairs.
Hey, can we just praise the
Retro.
fact that this is the most normally sounding name that Square Enix has given out in quite some time?
It's a terrible name.
All their names are terrible.
I know. All right.
And this
I
is
have
the
one
most
more
normal.
point.
Anyway, there's a
this is a
demo for
different
that
thing.
game. It's
Play
I
it.
really liked it.
It was good.
Yeah,
except for
I'm
loading.
Oh my god. Trivia time.
Wait, Kirby.
Oh my
Kirby
God.
Air Riders.
Kirby Air
I
Riders.
this is the last point.
Okay.
Is
Close the show.
besides Bandai Namco, it is also partnered with Sora, who made the worst Smash Brothers known to date.
Sora is Sakurai's company, isn't it?
If you look at all of the Smash Brothers that have been made, 3DS and Wii have the worst version and are critically panned compared to all the other ones.
Okay, well, let's say the 3DS one was we're cramming this massive game that needs to have parity with the Wii U game onto a handheld. So I think that was part of it. I
That's
actually,
fair.
I actually liked the Wii one. It was the one I was best at, and the single player story mode was really good in that game.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I agree.
Okay,
But,
there you go.
Okay, your point
and,
of the
and it had loading
compressing it
screens.
to 3DS.
So
it's not
This
a 2D
is just
RPG,
the opportunity
though.
for Drew to introduce his new game, Loading the Game.
where you have to beat loading screens. Is there any other tidbits you want to throw out there, Drew? Please.
Please, why was it 47 minutes long? For one game. The Nintendo Direct wasn't even 47 minutes. And, like, for Nintendo Switch 2, and we had, like, 30 games.
Because Sakurai had to tell you that you don't need to hit a button to make the Air Rider go.
It's not even HAL Laboratory. HAL makes a game every how many years?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like 2 to 3? Like, I'm
The
sorry.
cicadas.
Nope.
The best
I love
part
it.
was...
The
Keep
cicadas
going.
of the gaming
Get
industry.
fired up.
Last-
Love Angry Drew.
The best part was the anime ending song and like the transition trailer to like the mystery character, which I want to know about. I may or may not buy this game, and it may go into the part of if you three buy Air Riders, I'm probably buying Air Riders. But I don't really care about this game, but I watched the 47 minutes for you, Tom, in
Yeah.
preparation for this podcast.
Even though we didn't really end up talking about it at all.
You put a grind my
trivia
gears
time.
logo on Drew's
Yeah.
screen. You
Yeah,
have to.
that'll be the new segment. You know what really grinds Drew's gears? Loading screens. I got shit to do.
47 minutes of one game.
Yeah, but if it was 47 minutes of a game that you really loved, you would have been like, I'm soaking up every second of this, right?
Does anybody
Probably.
really love Kirby Air Riders, though? Besides Joe.
Kirby.
A lot of my
Our
students,
students.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
And you know what? Truthfully, when it was really hard to watch because like I'm trying to watch what he's doing, but there's subtitles the whole time, which again, fine, I don't have an issue with, but like I'm reading the subtitles and missing whatever's on the screen because it's so chaotic. But like that one race he did through the water level, I'm like, okay, that actually looks really pretty. There are moments where I was watching this and I was like, this is kind of what I wanted Mario Kart to be, and it's
Yes.
not. So like it might actually scratch an itch that Mario Kart World doesn't. I think I've moved from that's a easy pass to I could be in on that. So guys, if we all want to make Drew buy this game, we just have to buy it.
I will buy it
Damn.
without a Switch 2.
Well, there you go. And then when you get a Switch 2, you'll have Kirby Air Riders, and we'll have long traded in that game. So
You'll have the best two racing games on the Switch too. Kirby and Mario Kart.
I'm already worried for when I'm like, who wants to play Mario Kart? And you're like, okay.
Kirby Air Riders.
I've had moments where I want to go back to it, but that's also in a pre-Kirby Air Riders world. So, you know, it might be like, I don't want to play Mario Kart. I want to go surf some stars or whatever the hell's going on there. All right, Drew, you're getting your own segment next time to just go ham because that was great.
All right, quick poll.
Bandana
Kirby Air
Waddle Dee.
Riders.
Not a Waddle Dee, a bandana Waddle Dee.
There's a difference.
I'm in.
There's a difference.
That
I don't
sold
understand
you?
anything.
I don't.
Drew,
Anyway.
Joe can get into 30 minutes of lore on the bandana that Waddle Dee
Please
wears
do.
in Kirby game.
The
Dan, what were you going to say?
Bandana.
Either or, Kirby Air Riders or Diddy Kong Racing.
Diddy Kong Racing.
I never liked Diddy Kong Racing.
Shame.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
I never liked Crash Team Racing.
Oh my god, I
No,
played
different.
that on Switch, and for some reason, every time they remake a Crash game, they're like, hey, you know what the best part about Crash Bandicoot is? The controls. Let's keep the awful controls. You make a turn, you just spin out, you fly into walls. I have a friend who plays that game 4 hours a day, and I have no idea how. Yeah, that's your like cool down game, like after work and stuff.
I reviewed that game for the channel forever ago, and it is to this day the only game that I would love to go back and be like, fuck my earlier review, this game sucks. Because I didn't give it glowing praise, but I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then I like a week later, I was like, I hate this game actively, and I traded. It's like one of the few games I actually traded in. I think.
Please link your review below.
Yeah, I'll link the review in the bottom here. So
I
you
hate
can
this
watch
game so much, I don't even want to
me
collect
from
it.
6 years ago.
Don't even want it in
I'm
my
gonna go
home.
see if it's on. I have to check now. I'll see if it's on my shelf. Which also reminds me, before we go, Dan, you got to do your thing at the end of the show.
Oh yeah,
'Cause we were supposed to do that at the beginning of the show, and I botched it. Hold on, after trivia.
Great, let's do it.
Okay. All right, you guys ready for some trivia?
Yes.
Trivia today is brought to you by our rundown and myself, Tom. There are 5 questions, some multiple choice. If it is against the dealer. I am the dealer. If these guys manage to best me, I will continue doing trivia next month. If I win out, then I will pick one of the 3 of our panel members to do trivia for the next episode. All right. We're going to speed this up a little bit here. Here we go.
What's up, pupper?
Oh, let me bring up my speakers here. Here we go. Okay.
Yo, be careful. PETA's watching.
Round 1.
Okay, we led off talking about how the Switch 2 sales gave it the title of the fastest selling gaming hardware in US history. As of this recording, the Switch 2 sits 30th on the list of all-time selling hardware globally. When it inevitably moves up the chart, which is the first system it will overtake? Is it, and these are listed alphabetically, is it A, Sega Dreamcast, B, the Sega Game Gear, C, the Sega Saturn, or D, the TurboGrafx 16?
Buzz, Neo Geo Pocket.
That's not an option.
I was actually thinking that. So it has to pass 6 million. That's what he's saying.
Well, it's currently
Or like-
Switch is currently at 6 million. All these the multiple choice options are clearly all above that. One of these systems is directly above the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Just wanted to clarify.
I'm going. What did you say? Saturn?
Yeah, he said Sega Saturn.
Sega Dreamcast, Sega Game Gear, Sega Saturn,
All
or the TurboGrafx 16. Yeah, Sega didn't do well.
I want to say Game Gear.
Which is funny because
Yeah, I would say Game Gear too. Actually,
Ooh, bad move agreeing with me.
no.
it's 2 of 3, so I can't. I'm not swaying anyone. My vote would be Dreamcast. But go ahead.
What are we
Game
locking in
Gears.
here, folks?
Game
think
Gear
they
is
both
the
sold.
consensus.
I think they both sold better than that.
I need one of the 2 or one of the 4.
Game Gear.
We're
They
going
said
Game
Game
Gear. Game Gear is incorrect. Drew, you were right. It is the Dreamcast.
Okay.
Told you.
It's at what, 7?
Never disagree with
So
you.
here you go. Here are your numbers. Out of these 4, the Game Gear sold the most, 10.62 million units.
Oh,
wow. The TurboGrafx.
Not only were we wrong, we were the most
we were
wrong.
the most wrong. TurboGrafx 16 sits at 10. The Sega Saturn is at 9.26 million, and the Sega Dreamcast is at 9.13. So it will overtake that
Oh, it's
at
close.
some point.
What was Turbo?
Turbo was 10.
That's so few people playing Choo Choo Rocket.
Yeah, it really
sadness.
kind of paints a really sad tale of Sega being this far down the list with not making. But, 9.13 was the, okay, we're out, we're done, we're not making hardware anymore. So crazy, right? All right, we're 0 for 1.
Round 2.
This is a doozy. Donkey Kong Bonanza reestablishes the lore that Donkey Kong meets Pauline when she was trapped in a rock. However, non-canonically, according to Kid Stuff Records, which is a record label that had a reputation in the 80s for creating kids' albums based on popular characters, Donkey Kong met Pauline while he was in a zoo, and she, A, cleaned his cage, B, performed songs in town, C, delivered him pizzas, or D, used an animal adoption service.
Oh my god.
My gut goes with B only because they made Pauline sing in Odyssey, right? So there has to be some connection, and she particularly sang in New Donk City.
Yeah. And obviously sings a lot in Bonanza.
I want to spoil something for Dan, but I don't want to because you said it on an earlier podcast. So if you listen to an older podcast, you'll know that you are correct. Anyway.
Drew, you're usually right about everything. What do you think?
No.
Yeah, you can't trust their opinion. They picked the wrong one. They picked Game Gear.
What did Joe go with?
I agree with Dane.
He said, "Oh my god."
I did say, "Oh my god," but I agree with Dane.
I feel like it was Clean as Cage. Well, let's go with Sing a Song. 'Cause you, again, 2 for 3. It's majority. I can't like.
If you have a strong feeling or pull towards one, you try.
Yeah, like overrule us.
I don't have a strong feeling. I just feel like somewhere in me feels like she cleaned his cage, but that might just be like the animal instinct of
Oh, okay.
PETA fighting
right.
Donkey Kong.
So we're going with B, perform songs in town.
Yes.
That answer is incorrect. Okay, so this one, again, non-canonically, because that song was done without any say from Nintendo. According to the song, Donkey Kong was an animal at the zoo across from Mario's Pizza in the city of Gamesville when all the animals in the zoo were sold to the circus. Once a year, the circus animals return in a parade. When they return for the parade a year later, Donkey Kong, seeing Pauline, kidnaps her and takes her to the place where the zoo used to be, which is now a construction site, hence the setting of the original Donkey Kong. But the prelude to the song has Mario and his delivery girl Pauline bringing pizzas to Donkey Kong every day in the zoo.
Where the fuck is Peter with that?
I mean, come on. I'll send you guys the song. It is very much a kid's song, but kind of silly that it exists at all. So the correct answer is C, delivering him pizzas.
Is there a single pizza reference in the game?
I don't believe so.
Or like in the original Donkey Kong?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right.
Mario's Italian.
Over 2.
Round 2.
A Pokemon Presents took place a few weeks ago, and while devoid of any meaningful serious news, it did show a new Mega Evolution of Dragonite, which will be used in the upcoming Legends Z to A game. Which was the first game in the mainline Pokemon game series to introduce Mega Evolutions as a game mechanic? I'll give you some multiple choice options. They're listed in release order. Was it Diamond and Pearl, B, Black and White, C, X and Y, or D, Sun and Moon?
I'm pretty sure it's X and Y.
Black and White is where I ended, and I'm pretty sure it's not in there.
Yeah, I don't recall them in X and Y, or in Black and White. Sorry, I didn't play X and Y, so I know they were in Sun and Moon.
I actually did.
Okay.
I did, and I think that's the one with Lucario, and that is where they introduced the Mega Evolutions with whatever. It's not the legendary in that one, but it's like Charizard, Blastoise.
Okay.
Does this guy know how to Pokemon or what? All right.
Yeah, I'm confident going with Dan.
X and Y
Hey!
is correct. I didn't think it'd be a layup. In my notes here, I was like, Dan's going to get this one. because I just figured that was like the timing wise. That was it. I tried to give you a layup after question 2. It's a little wonky.
Thank you.
You're so very welcome.
Round 4.
All right, question 4 is an audio question. My phrasing for this question is worded very specifically to make this a little bit easier. The following is the chime played at the title screen of what iconic simultaneous 2-player NES game? Here's the sound. As with all audio questions, if you know it, you get 2 points. If you need the multiple choice and get it, you will get 1 point.
Oh my god.
Doing loading the video game, obviously. Thanks, Joe.
You earned it. You absolutely earned it.
I have
Play it one more time.
Yeah.
I can play it one more time. Here's that sound one more time. Would you like the question rephrased?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You guys can't agree to anything today.
Next segment of Grinds Drew's Gears is rephrasing questions again.
The following is the chime played at the title screen of what iconic simultaneous 2-player NES game?
God, it starts.
I have 2 guesses.
It starts off.
Start us off, Drew.
Yeah, pick one.
It's not Double Dragon, which is 2-player. All right. But I don't think he would go to the deep cut of my second guess, which is Bad Dudes.
I was thinking Double Dragons too.
It's Contra. It's got to be Contra.
Ooh.
Like the screen like comes in, and you got like the little eagle emblem, and then when you hit start, I'm pretty sure the like explosion happens.
Joe, what were you gonna say?
I was just saying that it starts off sounding like it sounds like a brawler at first. Like those first like 2 notes are very like fighting game-ish, and then for a moment it sounds like one of the like a casino game or something, and then it goes back to sounding like a fighting game. So there's kind of an explosion at the end, but that wasn't helpful. It's just how it sounded at first.
Do you want to take
Contra is.
Do you want to take a guess, or would you like for 1 point to hear the multiple choice options?
I don't want the multiple choice. And I'm telling you that it's one of the 2 that I said, and I'm pretty sure it's Contra.
I'm good
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, me too.
Give me the 2 points, Tom.
For 2 points,
Oh,
yes, Contra is correct.
God damn, he's good.
very nice.
Well done for 2.
Never
Now,
doubted
the
you.
reason why my phrasing was so specific is here's your multiple choice options listed alphabetically, and you mentioned 3 of them actually. A, Contra; B, Double Dragon; C, Metal Slug; D, Ninja Gaiden. And the rationale for the phrasing was even if you weren't sure, systematically you could figure out that Double Dragon was 2 players, but the players played alternatively. Metal Slug was a completely different system, and Ninja Gaiden is a single-player game. So I was trying to make sure you had a fighting chance to get at least 1, but you nailed it, 2 points, which means you would push if you get this last question wrong, and a push goes to the dealer. So I have to set that rule, otherwise a tie will always be me. That being said,
Round 5.
Dan, Drew, and I are all set to go back to school in the coming days as we are all educators. Which of the following high schools is not from a video game franchise? And I'll list these in alphabetical order. Is it A, Bulworth Academy; B, Midwich Elementary; C, St. Hermillon High School; D, San Romero High School; or E, Yorkshire Boarding School?
Can you read him one more time?
Absolutely. Which of the following high schools is not from a video game franchise or single game? I don't want franchise to take you down the wrong path. A. Bulworth Academy. B. Midwich Elementary. C. St. Hermelin High School. D. San Romero High School. Or E. Yorkshire Boarding School.
Okay, so Bulworth was Bully from
Yeah.
PS2 or whatever era.
Yep.
San Romero. What's San Andreas is called what? San Andreas stuff. I don't know what San Romero would be. I feel like Midwich is actually one, but I don't know where Yorkshire or Hermelin would be.
Just to clarify what your last statement, those are two separate ones. It's C was
Yeah.
Saint. Oh, okay. You
I have
combined them.
5.
That's why I was okay.
I have Bulworth, Midwich, San Romero, Hermelin, and Yorkshire.
It's Yorkshire. Not there's no K.
My shire.
Yorkshire.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying for the sake of making sure you don't feel misled.
The only one I knew for certain was Bulworth.
Yeah, same.
The others I don't know.
And you didn't like change like academy to something else? Like
No.
If something's in elementary, it's not secondary. Okay. Or high school. What even would be Yorkshire? What series? Like Hogwarts is Hogwarts, so it's not like a competing school.
Drew, what do you think? Gut reaction.
Hermelin. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm pretty sure San Romero, Midwich, and Bulworth are all schools, but
I would agree with those 3. I think it's between the last 2.
It's a coin toss. Joe, Yorkshire or Hermelin?
For the win, Joe.
Oh God, I
Or the push?
Or well, the push is my win. You need to get this right to win.
can you
But we got
this,
3 of 5.
can you spell Hermelin?
Yeah, I'm confused on that too.
Yes, Saint Hermelin, Hermelin.
Okay. Can you use it in a libelous sentence?
No.
Good move. So I'm sorry, it's between Hermelin and which one?
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
I'm gonna.
But again, I could be wrong. I don't. What are the schools in the like Persona series? I think only Tom would know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bastard. I'm gonna go with Yorkshire.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Me too.
Yorkshire
Oh!
Yes.
for the win. That is correct. I can turn my camera on now.
Joe got a trivia question right.
Joe.
That's why there's a dancing dog.
I mean, hey, you got it down to 50-50, which was great. Yes, you got it. Joe's dog is dancing on camera.
A quick second. Where are all those other schools from?
So Bulworth is from Bully. You got that one correct. I thought that was the obvious one. Drew, I thought for sure Midwich Elementary you would have gotten.
Wait, is that Sea of Stars?
No.
No.
That is from Silent Hill.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not good with like reading when it comes to video games.
St. Hermelin High School is the high school in the original Persona.
Okay.
Good
Yeah,
call, Drew.
yeah.
And San Romero.
San Romero High School is from Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh,
So
I forgot about that.
Yorkshire Boarding School was the one that I had made up, and clearly I did not choose a realistic sounding enough name. It was really hard to find games that centered around high schools and also did not have high schools that were just straight up Japanese names because I didn't think that'd be fair to ask. So I picked the 4. I'm like, okay, they're going to be familiar with these games and or series, but yeah, there's a lot of Japanese. Did you know, Drew, that the dodgeball game for NES and Super NES, they go to the same school that the World Cup soccer game people did as well?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm glad I didn't put those 2 as an option.
Should have picked the River City Ransom School. I don't know if that's the same.
I'm pretty sure
Probably
it's called River City High School.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
That's too easy.
I actually went to River City Girls first. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's called. Nope, didn't work. All right, well, because of
Before
Joe's.
you end,
Uh-oh.
throw it over to Dan.
Oh, that's right.
So
Forgot again.
Dan
there's
has a special announcement.
yeah, there's a shop in Provincetown, Massachusetts that I really love, and one of the things they sell is these really cool prints that are done on, I don't know, cloth paper, and they are all hand drawn. I think they obviously are prints, but I picked up each one of our panelists here, some collector item that I think is really cool.
Oh,
so
that's
this
so
one's
awesome.
for Tom.
Uh-oh.
This one's for Tom. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there's a little glare here. Let's see if I can turn that
Show
off.
and tell on a podcast is always a winner. So check out the video
Always-
version if
Always, it works. So we got all four. We got the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
here.
Rings.
Hobbits on top, and then we got the Fellowship here, the two towers in the bottom left, and
that's
the
cool.
tree from Return
All
of the
4
King.
books.
Oh, that's really
They're
awesome.
really fucking. Yeah, they're really fucking cool.
Is this
just
the
the
same
artwork's
place?
unique.
You got me the Star Wars one. Is that from the same place?
I did, yeah, and I didn't. Yeah, I did. So this one is for my my brother, who is a big King Kong fan. And I don't know if you can actually see this
Oh,
and make out what
that's
it is.
awesome.
Oh, damn.
That is cool.
You see him standing over the
dinosaur?
the Victorious
Or
on the
lizard or whatever
T-Rex.
it is?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's very good.
So the other two, I got two. You guys can fight over it, talk about it. One, goes right along with the podcast, but is for the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, that's
Also really
That's
cool.
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
That's excellent.
You can't see a lot of the detail on it, but
no,
again,
but the
they're
layout is
hand-drawn.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one is for any Jaws fans. It's the 50th anniversary of Jaws,
Yeah.
and so these
It
are
sure
these
is.
are,
Shit.
big in the Cape, and so you guys can fight over Super Mario Brothers or Jaws. I wasn't sure who would like what, but
I think I'm the bigger movie person than Joe.
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm fine with Jaws. He can take Super Mario.
Could I pull rank and
Sweet.
take all 4 of them?
No.
Yeah. So have fun.
That's awesome. Thanks, dude.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah, that's
Dan.
really
Got
cool.
it, man. Yeah, I thought they were really cool.
Oh, what a positive note to end on. And on that note, let's cue the music. We are gonna wrap it for the month of August. We'll see you in September. Of course, Dan, Drew, and I will be either highly caffeinated, there'll be more bags under our eyes, and we'll have just finished grading papers or video projects or tech projects or chorus concerts. School year starts, and we're gonna be dead next month, but we're still gonna be excited to talk video games and share some laughs with you. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
You know it. I'm always excited to talk about video games.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
That was
Yo,
great.
PETA is gonna come after you, Joe.
He's having so much fun, though. Look at him. That's why he's struggling.